Sarah, you pick.
Oh, right here in the front.
Okay.
First of all, I feel like I have to prep.
Oh, that's okay. You'll go next. It's fine. Thought I was making eye contact, but it's also very dark up here, so I'm double eye contact with you and you. So you go first and then you're second.
Well, this ties in. I feel like I have to preface this question
Sure.
By saying that I hope that you take to all the people out there the fact that maybe not all Texans, not all of us are douchebags.
Why do you think we started in Austin? We love it here.
Oh.
What do you guys think of Texas, and what do Canadians think of Rick Perry?
You guys are trying to get us to say inflammatory things. We did some media training recently, and Sarah started a war. I don't know if you know this, somebody, and now we're down. We're not. Sarah, you answer. We love Texas. We grew up actually in sort of what is loosely the Texas of Canada. Grew up in Alberta, which there's a lot of parallels between Texas and Alberta, and we had a wonderful childhood, and our mom's grad, obviously. She's great, and we were introduced to tons of amazing things, and I think we had a broad sort of cultural identity, and we and so when you get older and people start to say things, I would go to Montreal or I would go to Vancouver and people would be like, Calgary, cowboys and rednecks and all of these things, and it was so completely different than the experience that I had, and I'm sure Tegan had, and so you feel sort of defensive, but if you objectively look at a place based on politics or whatever, it can be easy to sort of write the entire population off. But we recognize, we've toured America a tremendous amount, and almost everywhere we go there is, thankfully, a fan base of Tegan and Sara fans who share a lot of the same views on things that we do. And I think Texas certainly is the same. There's a lot of wicked people, and a lot of them probably happen to be in Austin, so that's great. So yes, we got your back. We got all the good people's back. Don't worry about it. What about Rick Perry? Oh, Rick Perry. Listen, imagine we're in media training, this is role playing. Okay, well, Rick Perry, I think that he is quickly, showing himself to be sort of like, the ding dong that he really truly is. And I'm not too worried about it. Initially, when the presidential campaign started, I got really worried that Obama was really in trouble. But if y'all, that was for you.
Yeah.
Texas. If y'all voted one of these ding dongs, what the hell are you? There's at this point, I'm just like, well, if you vote someone like this in, we're probably not going to tour her that much, and we're just going to kind of go what happened? This is up to you. You have the power. You have the power to not let this happen, and I'm hoping that Obama gets back in. So yeah. That's you. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Tess.
Hi.
I was just wondering, I know you hear a lot of inspiring stories from fans and stuff, and how does that affect you in your everyday life when people tell you that you lifted them from the depths?
Hate it. Thank you for your question. If you want to sit down, you can. I don't know if you feel awkward or not. Oh my God, we were actually just talking about this over breakfast, about how many people come up to us and how funny they are, and how sometimes it's very awkward, but for the most part it's actually really fun to interact with strangers. Especially when they walk up to you, they're like, Tegan! And you're like, hey! And then they're like, I love your music, and you're like, oh, we don't know each other, okay. Well, and then, you talk, and anyway, it's always 99% of the time really awesome. I love hearing people's stories. I still read all our fan mail, and I am definitely most of the time really open to having a conversation with people, as long as it's not dangerous. One time someone stopped me in the middle of a street, and I was like, oh yeah, and I'm edging out of the crosswalk, because I was like, the light's changing, but they were so excited, and at one point I finally I was pulling them along with me. I was like, we need to get out of the middle of the street. Yeah, I think we have just the most lovely, entertaining fans. I love people come up, they're like, oh, Tegan, by the way, you should read this book, and I'm like, okay, thank you. As long as they don't show up outside my house, I feel pretty okay about it. So, and I love to hear the stories. Sarah and I are really inspired by your guys' experiences, because I feel like we're all around the same age and interests and whatever, so I'm siphoning your life energy from you when you're talking to me. Okay, up near the top with the blue.
Is that me?
Yeah? That looks like blue to me. Is that blue?
Yeah, it's blue.
Okay.
I meet people talking about my mohawk.
Oh, I can't even see if you have hair. Is it hair? Yeah, there's the other mohawks. Then I don't want to take it.
My question's a little bit for your mother as well as you.
Okay, we'll answer on behalf of her.
I am young enough to remember being a strong-willed teenager, but old enough to be a few years away from having a strong-willed teenage girl.
Okay. Oh, God.
And I was wondering how she got through that or how you experienced that with friends. And you're really uniquely you.
Oh, that's a really good question. Sarah, you wanna? Mom, I just want to say that my mother turned to me during the movie and she said, "Your dad and I are so weird. I mean, it's no wonder you guys turned out like this." Wasn't my mom awesome in the movie?
Yeah!
She was like, during the first movie when Sarah and I were like in the bottom of our seats being like, "Oh God, we're so out of tune," whatever. My mom was like, "You sound great, you look great." And then the Indian movie came on and my mom was like, anyway, Sarah, you talk about how Mom and you and I are best friends.
It's really strange because we're 31, and I know that sometimes it doesn't seem like we've aged, but we have. And
I think I'm maturing.
it's different. No, but you know, the longer, like, the more time that passes from when I was a teenager and that relationship of like mother and daughter and high school and junior high, all that stuff, like it's actually starting to like fade for me. Like I actually think less and less about it, and I also see it less clearly and probably objectively. And and now my relationship with my mom is like a completely new relationship. You know, you still have like patterns and you still have connections and all of those kinds of things, but it's really challenging for me to insert myself back into the teenage body that would slam the door and like cry and like listen to music and dance around in my room and just act like a yahoo, and then how that human connected with the adult human who raised me. Like it's harder for me to put myself in that position now, and thankfully we had like our mom is awesome. Our parents are awesome, and they were really open, and we talked a lot. And there was a healthy amount of discipline, but then there was also a healthy amount of
Media training.
there was a healthy amount of discipline, but there was also a healthy amount of like understanding of like what we were going through. Like my mom was totally the type of mom who was like, "You're grounded, you're never gonna see the light of day," but then she was also like, "Oh my God, when I was a teenager, we used to listen to Led Zeppelin and like drive around." And so when we would get in trouble, we would be like, "But you did it too," and she would be like, "Yes, that's true, but still you're grounded forever. So we're very disappointed in you." But this one, okay, well, now that you're grounded, let me just sit you down and tell you this story about that's basically it. That was it.
Can my daughter ask you to tell you something?
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
You can write your name on it.
You want us to write your name or our name on that thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
come
sure,
on,
we'll
down
do that.
there. Yeah, sure.
We have no boundaries when it comes to children, so get down here.
If an adult stood up and asked that,
Her name is Tegan.
I was just gonna add about the parent relationship stuff or whatever too, like that my mom over dinner last night said she liked having us in the house. We were allowed to like have sleepovers with like 25 girls, like she didn't care. She wanted us to be in the house. As long as you were in the house, I knew what you were doing, I knew what you were up to, so that's the key to a good relationship. Oh, you are adorable.
how's it going?
Actually, she's named Tegan.
Her name is Tegan?
That's how we know about you.
Oh my God, like someone was like, "Have you heard of the band Tegan and Sara?"
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Her
I usually just meet people whose cats are named Tegan, but that's great.
the like Bay Area Doctor Who champion. Trivia.
Right,
Yeah.
Tegan and Sara separately at different times were the assistants on Doctor Who. Yeah, that's true.
Nice to meet you, Tegan.
Yeah. So weird to say my name to you.
It's so nice to meet you. Did you have fun? Were the movies boring? Was it okay?
Tegan's giving me. It's kind of boring. She just said yes. Really nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Give everybody a wave so they can all see you. Yeah.